I think it's finally time I do the adventure deck. I've been playing with it for a while, and I think I've came to a point where I'm just okay with it. Like, cool. It's like good enough to do a deck profile. I already know Sunamon's the one that's going to be being run, unfortunately, over the Koromon. Although I think you can use the Koromon if you're going to, like, capitalize on the Garurumon from BT21 that lets you recycle cards. So, if you're going to do the Koromon, you have to do 4 of the Garurumon. So you're kind of, doing that stuff. So I'm not doing that because I actually think Kakumon is better than Garurumon. We'll talk about it. Rookies, I'm only running 8. This is it. We got the Biomon, that's a searcher, gets your tamer, and Digimon with adventure in its trait. Inherit gets 2000 DP. Digivolve for 0 over the whole, not a hero thing, adventure thing. So this whole deck has to do with the adventure trait, which is awesome. I really think, I guess it would have been ahead of its time at the time, but if they would have launched Digimon TCG like this, I guess it would have made it more confusing with the whole color stuff, huh? Anyway, pretty good deck. I actually really like it. Then the Agumon as well, Digivolve for 0 over adventure and straight, so they could all Digivolve over themselves. I remember I was playing with my wife, and she's like, because she kind of plays, not really, she doesn't play until I force her to, but so I forced her to play. And she's like, what's going on? What's up with all these colors? So it could be confusing, but in this deck, I think the colors don't matter because of the separate evolution line, which is just digivolving over trait stuff. So this Agumon lets you warp when your opponent has a Digimon with 10,000 DP or more, or if you have tamers with 3 or more total colors. This Digimon can digivolve into Warp Greymon for its Digivolution for 4, I'm sorry. Ignoring the Digivolution requirements. And then the Inherit is Reboot, which I love. I don't think you need Palmon. You can run it if you want, but I don't think you need all that stuff. For Ikakumon, this card is really good. So, security effect, it gets played. Bam. Then on play and when Digivolving, trash top 2 Digivolution cards of one of your opponent's Digimon. Then one of their Digimon with no sources can't attack or block until the end of the opponent's turn. So I got clarification on this. Let's say the Ikaku stripped, I don't know, whatever. Say this is a War Greymon. Say it stripped the sources when it got hit. And, bad example. Say it was level 5. Yeah, level 5. Trash its sources. And then if it digivolves, let's say into a War Greymon, yes, now it has sources. But when it triggered, like, it would still not be able to attack or block. So, just if you didn't know that, or if you did, well, there you go. Confirmation there. Inherit when attacking, if you have 7 or fewer cards in the hand, draw 1. Beautiful, because it doesn't love drawing. 2 Birdramon. This one on play when digivolving. If you have tamers with adventure with 3 or more colors, you could digivolve into a level 5 with the same traits for free. Inherit your turn. This Digimon gets 2,000. I'm not playing 4 because I'm doing the split of the Togemon and Birdramon. Does the same thing, but this one is all turns you get 1,000 DP, which sometimes I think that could be better. If not, if you want to go all aggressive, just do 4 of the Birdramons. 2 Kabuterimons with the Piercing Inherit, and then when you Digivolve, if you have 1 or fewer tamers with adventure in its trait, you can play it. You hard drop a lot of tamers, so I don't feel like it's entirely necessary. Just in the beginning, you kind of do it, because the whole setup is just you having tamers and then you can do stuff, for the most part. But they are cheap play costs, so that does help out. Angelomon, you have to run 4 of these, because then when you on-play, when you Digivolve, one of your other Digimon may Digivolve into a Digimon card with adventure in its trait. So that's how you could get little loops where you have like a boom, this one. So you have 2 champions, don't matter. You Digivolved into an Angelomon, and this one can make this one Digivolve into an Angelomon, then this one can make this one Digivolve into a Greymon. Now this one lets this one attack, and it gets Alliance, and it has Alliance built in. Swing, Alliance, you got Piercing. Yeah. So that's why we're running 4 of these. The other effect all level 5s have it, which you might know at this point. Your turn once per turn when one of your other Digimon are played or Digivolved. If any of them have the adventure trait, one of your Digimon gains Alliance for the turn, then it can attack. So it's really cool because that can be targeted to itself, even if the other Digimon Digivolves, in case that one can't attack, because it still has Summoning Sickness. Inherit gives Alliance. you know, when you attack, you can suspend another Digimon, gain the attack power, and then you get security attack this one. 2. Garudamons. People are playing this at 4, rightfully so. Because when you unplay it when you're Digivolving, for the turn, one of your Digimon gains security attack +1, and then for every 2 colors that your tamer has, you give it 2000 DP. That can be given to itself or to another Digimon. Same inherit, same other effect. I actually really like the Lilymon here. The Lilymon, when you Digivolve and unplay, suspend all of your opponent's Digimon with 5000 DP or lower. Then for every 2 colors your tamers have, return one of their suspended Digimon to the bottom of the deck. I like this because if you really think about it, they end up swinging with their level 6, 7, whatever. It's going to survive. You end up Digivolving into the Lilymon. That's already suspended. And if you have enough tamers, you can bottom deck that. This is just giving me Nidhogg vibes. That's it. You think about it. But it's limited with a 5000 DP. Really love that card. Then we are playing 1 Metal Greymon for the on-play, and when Digivolving, you Digivolve 1 to one of your opponent's Digimon. Then for every 2 colors, you can Digivolve it again. So, pretty cool. It comes up, it can come up, especially in occasions where you just want to drop it to save yourself. And then you drop it, and then you can just blast on the following turn. And then 1 Were Garurumon, I just want to play them just so I could, you know, I like them. So this one, on playing with Digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon for level 4 or lower. If your tamers have 2 or more, add 1. So it could pop a level 5. It would be busted if it goes up and can delete for every color. Then you would probably be running 4 of these. So War Greymon Ace, this one arguably is better than the Metal Greymon. Metal Garurumon. A lot of metals. Because it gives itself protection, not just to itself, but it could give it to your other Digimon. And this deck can actually be kind of a wideboard deck. So, on play when Digivolving till the end of your opponent's turn, for every 2 colors your tamers have, their Digimon effects don't affect one of your Digimon. Mind you, option cards will still affect it. So, but it's kind of rare, right? I mean, don't really run that many option cards that pop stuff anymore. I guess besides like Heaven's Judgment or things like that, or like Megadeth, or, you know. When Digivolving, when attacking, delete one of your opponent's lowest DP Digimon. I love that it's not once per turn, because now when you Digivolve, pop something, you attack, you pop something else. And then with Agumon's Reboot, you unsuspend. 2 of the Metal Greymon Ace. This card's pretty good. It's still good, okay? I'm not saying it's not. You on-play when you're Digivolving. Return one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon to the bottom of the deck. For every 2 colors, increase it by 1. So you could end up bottom decking 6, 7. When attacking once per turn, you may play 1 level 4 or lower Digimon card from your trash without paying the cost. That is very good, because you attack, play the Togemon, Bergemon, whatever. Then that one, when you have it, this is ideal if you have, I mean, you could end up doing it this way. Digivolve for free, because you're going to have enough tamers. Digivolve for free, give it security attack +1, and it's going to have an inheritive alliance. So now you got 1, 2, alliance, 3 checks, or more importantly, if you have enough, like, you could do it to the point where if you have multiple Digimon, right, you already had one of these out there, it's one attacking, plays a Togemon. Now you can Digivolve to the Angelomon, that Angelomon Digivolves into another one. And now that one ends up Digivolving into a Metal Greymon. And now you could give it protection while it attacks. So it's crazy. It can do some crazy things. I'm only running 5 of the 6s because for the most part you're swinging with the level 5s, giving themselves alliance and then just kind of going through it. Then it's enough to just, I mean, you swing with it and then you just set them up for the blast. I was playing the promo War Greymon, and you can play it. I don't feel like you need it. It's more of an early game aggression, I guess. Not really, because it pops. I just don't like it that it doesn't have a protection of some sort. And it's just kind of, you Digivolve and then you pop something, and then, yeah, you have blocker and stuff, so it can be helpful. With Agumon, after you attack, it just gives itself a reboot, so not discounting it, but I was running it at 1 and I kind of didn't see it often. So I'm like, I'm only going to run it at 1. And it's kind of like, you know, rather make space for something else that I feel that might be more useful, like these option cards. Believe in our friendship. You can play it if you have adventure on the field. Reveal 3 cards when you play. Add 1 card with the adventure trait among them. Return the rest to the bottom of the deck. Then place this in the battle area. Then after a full turn, you have delay. Memory boost. Gain 2 memory. Pretty crazy. Security effect. Place this card in the battle area. And 4 of the Courage United. Crazy. This is your pot of greed right here. Drop it. Draw 2. And then place it in the battlefield. And then all turns, when any of your level 5 or higher Digimon will leave the battle area, delay, you may play 1 level 5 or lower Digimon card with the adventure trait from your hand without paying the cost. So you can just imagine, right? Like your level, you know, like getting rid of your 6s, or even if, yeah, because it has to be level 5 or higher. But then eventually, you get what I'm saying. Say they get rid of your Angelomon, boom, trigger that delay, and I can just kind of do it all over again. So you play it, or you play the Garudamon as well. And yeah, and then there's ways the tamers give you rush, so you could end up going into the Garudamon now. And now the Garudamon just gives itself security attack +1. Then security effect places card in the battle area. 2 of the ties, I like it enough to run it as opposed to not run it. That's a memory setter, and then one of your Digimon attacks, suspend it, draw 1. During your main phase, you may play an adventure trait or hero with a play cost of 2 or less, and then for every color, for each of your tamer's color, add 1. So I'm assuming, correct me if I'm wrong, it counts itself because it says tamers, not other tamers. So now you could play a 3 with just this one, and if you just have 1 more tamer, that's 3, 4, 5. There you go, you're playing 5s. Catch with this though is after you do that, it bottom decks itself. We're just playing 2. Yes, one of them is a proxy because they're a little expensive, and I'm not going to spend that much money on them. 2 of the Matt and TKs. This one gives all your level 5 or higher Digimon with the adventure trait gain rush. It's all your turn. So now, like I was saying, when you with the option, you play the Togemon or the Bergermon. Boom, Digivolve there. This gives it rush. Security attack +1. Pretty cool. All the tamers kind of. Yeah, all the tamers have the same effect. When any of your Digimon cards with adventure trait would be played from your hand, by suspending this Digimon, reduce the play cost by 1. So this is what I mean, like you get to do stuff once you actually have tamers out. This one does the same thing, but the thing that it does is it gives all your adventure Digimon blocker during your opponent's turn. And then the Joe and Mimi give, if you have a Digimon with the adventure trait, gain 1 memory. And then the Sora and Kari do the same thing as the Joe and Mimi. They're just different colors. So we are just running the full split of 2 of each's. Just seeing how it goes. The more tamers you have, say if you got these, you can reduce 1, 2, 3. And you can now play champion. Think about it. You have this one already. You play the champion for 1 on play, and then you Digivolve to level 5. See, so that's when you can start doing stuff. Yeah, that's it. If you guys enjoy it, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.